How should we start?
We're back. I don't know.
And we're back. Welcome to the Dirt Bike Journals, everybody. With me here is Rob. He needs no introduction. He is
Longtime listener, couple time co-host. I don't know.
definitely co-host, regular guest all the time. So today we are going to be talking about a couple of things. We first wanted to start out with a couple of bags that we've been messing around with. Rob, when he was working for Rocky Mountain, was privileged to kind of get some insights and first views, first glances of the MSR bags. So he has kindly brought his brand new MSR bag for us to take a look at, as well as the, was that the original?
No, so the two I have here are both the production models. The prototype I got to ride for 5 Miles of Hell, about a year and a half ago now. That one is somewhere in the warehouse. Actually, it might even be deconstructed for making the patterns to make the new bags.
Right.
After. But so these are basically everything's production. They're totally on sale for anybody that wants one. Check them out. Super nice bags. And this all comes from guys who ride. And, we've tried, like yourself, we've tried all kinds of different bags over the years for, you got your hiking backpacks like your Ospreys and stuff, and they're lightweight and they're comfortable. But then you go and put tools in them or stuff in them, and you realize that they flop and they bounce and they're not comfortable, and they just really don't work for dirt biking because they don't have enough anything really to do the job the way you really want it to and the way it should do it, because it's not meant for you to do that job with it.
Yeah, well, in a lot of my videos, you can see me wearing just a green Osprey backpack.
Yep.
And, yeah, everything's flopping around in there and just smashed to bits.
Yeah, and it just gets super annoying. So I started outside of the backpack world, so to speak, with the Wolf Enduro when they first partnered up with Answer to do their the Wolf Vest. Fantastic.
That's where that came from.
Yeah, that was my hunt, and I saw them posting on Instagram for, I swear it was about a year, teasing this thing, and man, I wanted it so bad. And then it finally dropped, I think right before Christmas that year. It was maybe October, November, and by like February, I think they'd sold out. I mean, they just went off the rails there, and it was fantastic. I mean, I super love the bag. Been wearing it now for probably, about 3 years at this point in terms of that bag, because I got the bag before I moved down here to Utah.
Yeah, you had it since you've been down here. So.
And it's held up amazing. I mean, the thing is just rock solid, super tough. Really like it. I looked at some of the other ones too, like the Climb Arsenal vest. And my big issue with all the full vest style is airflow. I mean, none of them are going to be super great just because you are covering up even more of yourself. But a big thing for me was the modeling of the Wolf Vest after the LBV that the military runs. It's a very heavily modified version. It means that it carries the weight low. It doesn't move. I really love it, and it gives you some airflow, at least in the front.
Yeah.
But
Abby, quiet. Yeah, she's wanting to talk about the bags too. She has no idea.
And so that was what I've been running for a long time. But here in Utah, it gets hot in the summer.
Yeah.
And while it does really good, I also wear a soft armor under my jersey, which means even more heat.
Yeah, you're insulating hard.
So the air can come in the front. It just struggles, I think, a little bit to get out the back. And that's where also sometimes if, someone else is carrying tools and I don't have to, because, I'm that guy. It's just how it is.
I've been the pack mule before. It's fine.
Right. That's when I went into the Traverse saddlebags from Tusk, which have also been a really good addition to my, especially general riding. If I need tools, that's where I like to put them. If I can keep it off my body, that's preferable. Yeah, technically my bike gets heavier, but ideally I'm not picking up too often.
Right.
Though it depends on the day.
Yeah. For me, it's at least 12 times. Maybe more.
Right. Some days are worse than others, but that's what happens.
They say I'm trying. That's what it is.
That's right. If you're not crashing, you're not trying.
I try hard.
I feel that. There's some days, man, it's just like I might as well just leave my bike on the ground because it spends more time there than on its tires. And so for the summer, I really wanted something a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller. And that's where working at Rocky Mountain, I was able to see these MSR bags while they were still kind of in the works. got to test ride them. And I started with the test riding the medium bag, which is actually a super cool one. This is this last one that they dropped here. It's roughly a mid-size, so you've got enough storage on it to carry like tools. It's got an expandable pouch here in the middle and the front, so you could stick like a jacket or whatever. So maybe you start the day, it's a little cooler, you're wearing a windbreaker or a lightweight coat. Come to the middle of the day, you're scorching your butt off, and you're like, you know what, it's time for this thing to go. You can roll it up or not even bother and just stuff it in there, cinch it down, it's good. But when you're not running it, it's small, it's not really obtrusive, and the strap design here with that they're running, kind of the single chest strap.
I like that. It can pivot in the middle.
Pivots in the middle. It doesn't really move, which is nice. It keeps it pretty tight to the body. And these panels in the front are big enough to hold, I think, even all the way up now to like an iPhone 14 Max. They're pretty big. I think that's going to be pushing its limits.
Well, your phone's huge.
Yeah, I just picked up that Google Pixel 7, and it fits just fine in there. It's got big padded ribs there with a gap in the middle for your spine to keep airflow going. The inside has actually got some green panels in it, like a lime green, which is fantastic in terms of being able to see them. Super love the bag. The price point's really good. They're really inexpensive.
How much is that one?
Oh, retail is a good question. I actually don't know off the top of my head. Probably should have looked that up. But it's their 2-liter pack. It comes with it. I think it's actually like $80 or $90
Okay.
for the bag, and it comes with a hydration carrier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it actually comes with like a 2-liter hydro pack.
Wow, that never happens.
Yeah, it's super
That's
handy.
sweet.
These guys, I believe, will even hold up to a 3-liter, but they come with a 2-liter. And that's a really nice most of the year pack if you want a little bit of tools. They cannot hold quite as much as, say, your Wolf Vest. The Wolf Vest is expandable. It's got Molly all over it. You can put different pouches and stuff. And I've got my old one. Devin's got his brand new version of it here.
We'll bring that out in a minute.
So good overall mid-weight pack. And then I've got...
Yeah, let's compare those two.
And then we have our the also new release. This is their like kind of race pack. It's a 1-day, just a 2-liter bladder. That's all it's going to hold. Yeah. Physically, it's quite a bit smaller. I can get a toe strap in here. Thanks, Trailbound Co. You never know when these things come in handy.
There it is.
And it's been used. It's been around a little bit. But
it's pulled my bike somewhere.
Right. I've been pulled by it. Ran out of gas in the middle of the swell.
Did we use it when Mike busted his case? When we were way up in Payson? Or did we
No,
just
we
push
pushed that one.
out?
I don't think we had it. I don't think I may not have had it that day. But that's pretty much all that the little front pouch is going to hold. I think I've got a Leatherman in here too, just for the ability to do something, although it's going to be very little, almost nothing.
Right.
But it makes me feel better about it, you know. And that's pretty much all it can hold. Like, it's got a key ring in there, so you could slap some keys on it or whatever. But it's really meant if, you're going out, you're racing, or you're doing just a light trip, not really taking tools, or you got them in like a saddlebag or something. But it's super minimal, super lightweight, and what's nice about it is it takes up pretty much the least amount of backspace of anything I've worn. Yeah. So you still get your front flow and you get flow out the back. That's a really good. I like it for the summertime. That heat of the summer, it was nice to have something just a little bit smaller, especially when I didn't have to put tools on my back. If I was carrying them, like I said, run the Traverse bags, keep the weight off my legs and my body. Make it a little easier to ride longer.
Yeah,
harder.
Those long rides, you'll start to feel that fatigue in your quads.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
I'm packing some stuff here.
When you realize, like, the day I took off my tool bag from my old Wolf Vest and put it on the bike, and I picked up my vest again, I was like, holy crap, I don't even have that much stuff in there, and that took a lot of weight off.
Yeah. Got to invest in those titanium tools.
There we go. Wouldn't that be fancy?
Titanium needle nose pliers.
Right. Yeah, those baller dollars right there.
All right, let's bring out the big boys.
All right. Okay. So the brown one here is actually probably at this point closer to 4-year-old.
And look at it. It's
vest.
As good as the first day you bought it.
Yeah, it's maybe a little darker brown than it used to be.
I was say it was probably like a tan.
I think it came as like a tan initially. No. It's kind of like a FDE, maybe like a flat dark earth or like a coyote brown almost, but it's a little darker, a little stained. It's seen some things. And we got Devin's brand new black one here. They're very similar in terms of the new release. We were looking at them earlier, and there's some minor changes. The hydration hose elastic went from the right side to the left side.
Yeah.
The original one came with a radio pocket on the left strap. So That's
pretty
gone
cool.
now, which is nice. But there is Molly on them,
Still,
so
yeah,
if
you
you
can
want
attach
to,
it wherever.
if you want to add one, you certainly can. This is where I normally carry my toe strap when I'm wearing this one,
Right.
since I'm not typically running a radio. But what I like about these ones is you can still carry like a 3-liter bladder that does max it out. But man, there's just so much you can do with it. All the side panels, the cummerbund area is all Molly webbing, and it comes with these 2 small pouches. Actually, on the sides, I took one off and put it on the back when I removed my tool bag. And then it comes with a tool pouch on there. So
Yeah.
tons of space, really expandable.
Yeah,
You
well-
can really custom tailor it to you.
Yeah, and one of the things you showed me was that here on the cummerbund pouches, sure, you got the zipper right here, but then behind it, there's even more storage still.
Yeah.
Like everywhere you look, there's storage on this pack.
Yeah, there's like secret storage everywhere.
Yeah.
And,
Pockets within pockets.
you know, we did that night ride back, when was that? That was October, November? I think it was around November, actually.
1st of November.
Yeah, because I think it was basically the same weekend that we did 5 Miles of Hell the year before.
That's right.
And the weather was amazing. We did the night ride, and it was cold. It was really cold. The temperature shift between last year and this, and I guess this year, sort of huge.
Yeah.
But with that, riding with helmet lights and everything, battery storage, and having them somewhere that you can actually get to it is key. So, you know, it's maybe not the most elegant solution, but what I do is I just zip tie on my batteries right to the Molly.
Yeah, I mean, you
They're-
just pulled up next to me and I swapped them out for you. You didn't even have to take your vest off.
Yep, exactly.
Easy.
And then with that extra storage, I've got like I think 4 extra batteries in this thing. I mean, it holds. You can get a lot in a surprisingly small amount of space. So they're a great pack. And if you're looking for something, I highly suggest you take a look at it.
And that black is just so good looking.
I admit I really like the black. And you know what? It goes with more gear than the tan one.
Yeah, black just goes with everything.
Exactly. The tan is definitely one of those things where
But it stands
you're
out
wearing
nice
your.
against black gear.
It does,
If
you
you want
know.
to risk that in the Utah desert.
Yeah, there is that, but you can see it's got some stains on it and whatnot from different clay and mud and things that it's found. With me still wearing it typically,
Yeah.
you know, finding the impact.
Like that, were you wearing that when you went down in Warner Valley?
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah, that was a good one. That was. I mean, granted, I was lucky it was sandy and the sand
Yeah.
was super soft and fluffy, but
Were you just ragdolling it?
oh yeah, I don't know. I think I landed like 7 feet from my bike on my I held on, I think, with my left hand until I was pretty well stretched all the way out, and
Wow.
then
Dedication.
oh yeah, it's more like panic.
Yeah.
You know, some people are smart enough to let go of their bike early and just like, nah, that's it, I'm out. You know, and then there's some of us that are just like, nope, I'm locked in. This bike's
Yeah.
going off the cliff. I guess we're both going today.
Yeah. Well, so we think about it. People might say, "Oh, 7 feet. That's not that big a deal."
Right.
But in 7 feet, you know, you're probably dropping 4 feet, and you're going out 7 feet with your
Oh,
momentum,
yeah.
and you hit the ground.
I got high sided, right? So I was coming in, and it's kind of like whipped me around. So I held on. My arm acted like a rope, and it just
Yep.
swung me. And I don't know. It wasn't too bad. I bruised some ribs or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never
I remember
got it
saying-
checked out, but I was sore for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And every time I rode after that, I was sore again for a couple of days, for like another month or two.
Yeah.
Every time I did, I was just like, oh no, those aren't done healing yet. But
Yeah.
it's what it is. What it is. You know.
Yeah.
Nothing was broken, so it's good enough. But in that ride, or in that crash, I actually managed to rotate my Barkbuster about 90 degrees down and my clutch lever 90 degrees down. So when I picked the bike up out of the sand, I managed to not break anything
Yeah.
on the bike
But
either.
it looked sad.
It looked real sad. And at that point, everything hurt. So I wasn't going to bother with the Barkbuster. And I was like, I dug out my phone and kind of figured out where I was versus where camp was. And I was like, oh, I'm like not even a mile away. Like I was
okay.
like
So you're
maybe a half a mile. I just
you just kick it back up.
I just grabbed it. I keep all my perches either a little tiny bit loose to where I can move them with 2 hands, or I'll put a little bit of Teflon tape, like plumber's tape, underneath the perch. Same idea. Allows it to slip. So I just grabbed that perch, rotated that back into place, left the Barkbuster down,
Yeah.
a little sad ear, and rode on back into camp, where I was greeted by people like, oh, hey, sorry. You never crashed, so we weren't too worried about you. Yeah, joke's on me, I guess.
Yeah.
That was my day. That was a rough ride. That was actually the first real good full ride on the YZ 250.
Yeah.
After I bought it, and I definitely wasn't used to the power, the vibration,
Yeah.
everything. It beat me up for a little while.
Yeah.
But
they take some getting used to, but Oh, they're so awesome. So let's talk about that idea then with your Barkbusters. You kind of going away from the full wraparound guard, going for a different look.
Yep.
Tell me what you've gotten worked out, because I think I'm going down the same line.
Well, it's one of those things as I like the full wraps. They've done a great job for me. I don't really have any issues with them. But I feel like it's time for a little bit of a change, at least to try something different. And I like the look of a flag guard, you know, your standard, just kind of a roost guard. But they tend to be really soft and not very helpful. I've run them briefly on one bike, and a tree convinced me that I didn't want to run those after they tried to cut my fingers with the lever.
Yeah.
It hurt. But I'm back to that idea where I like the open end. The look is nice. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, what can I find that is similar to like the SXS Burley handguards, which are like $150 for a set. I mean, the mounts alone are $100, and then it's like $50 for the flag set. What can I do that's going to be less than that will give me the same kind of idea? Something where it's a little firmer up front. It'll do a better job deflecting like bushes and sticks, something that are a little more solid than just a little bit of like mud and light rocks or your general track kind of roost that's not too crazy.
Yeah.
And I stumbled on the E3 carbon fiber handguards. Now, they're technically meant to be mounted to the Cycra Pro bins, but we're going to give it a shot using the Tusk flag guard mounts. It's their D-Flex like mount. It's just a real thin aluminum mount. And so I'm going to have to drill those. The E3 guards don't come drilled at all. They're just a solid molded piece of carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And they're designed so that, because they mount to the Pro bins and another full wrap guard. I don't remember which one it is. So you basically, depending on which one you have, you just drill the holes that are kind of pre-marked in them for your bike or for your guards. So I'm going to have to kind of make my hole spacing, but I'm a little worried that unsupported, that carbon fiber is just going to snap when I smash into something, because I'm going to do that, and that's guaranteed.
That deflects flag mount is going to bend or snap.
Yeah, potentially either one of those. Now the D-Flex mounts, like, I think about $15, $14 at retail. They're dirt cheap, so I consider that a throwaway. And I'd honestly be fine if that thing just bent and saved the much more expensive carbon fiber. I think that guy's about $80. So yikes. I'm into it about $100. It's still quite a bit cheaper than the Burleys. I don't expect them to last like this SXS Burley mounts.
Right.
But I figured, what the heck? It's a simple enough thing to try.
So could you do with the Tusk flag mounts? Could you get the Tusk Deflex flags with that then?
Yeah.
And run those. You just want something that's prettier.
Yeah, I want something a little prettier. I'll be honest, that E3 looks so good. I got the blue highlights on it, so it'll match the Yamaha.
Yeah.
And the fresh graphics kit coming for the new year.
Rob's got, holy crap, we're going to get pictures up as soon as possible, but Rob, just real quick on a tangent, describe your new graphics kit and plastics look.
So, well, we'll have to get a picture.
Keep it top secret.
Nah, it's all good. The old bike, we'll have to get some pictures of that one too, some fresh ones. That way, it's still dirty from that night ride too. I don't think I've started it like 4 times.
Rolled it into the garage. And
I sure did.
I'll see you later.
Everyone's like trying to slap me, right now, but that's okay. I'm that guy. But it's funny. My bike always runs, so. Yeah. I've started it a few times since then, just, let it run for like 20 minutes, like just kind of put it around or whatever. I'm sure the neighbors love me revving it and out in the street, but whatever. They'll be fine. So that one's kind of a gray plastics with like a black and blue and gray kind of scheme to it. So for the new year, I wanted to switch it up a little bit. All new fresh blue blue plastics. We're going from a black tank to a blue tank as well, so it's going to be completely blued out there. But then I've got these mostly white graphics with a sparkle finish to it, and roses that are in like a Yamaha blue.
Let's avoid sparkle. Let's call it pearl.
We can call it a pearl, or like a glitter finish, like bass boat glitter finish.
Glitter, sparkle. You want to stay in the same vein? That's fine.
You know what? It is what it is.
You're gonna own it. It's
fine.
That's
absolutely it. Tell you what.
Trying to help you out.
The folks who made this set said they've only made one other, and that was in the pink version that it was originally designed in.
And it probably had glitter and stuff in it too.
Oh, probably. It was for somebody's daughter.
I'll bet that looked cool.
Actually, probably was really good. I don't remember what bike it was on, so I was like, let's get this for my bike, but let's go with blue roses to match the bike and the Yamaha brand.
Blue with like black shadow in them.
Yeah, they're blue and black. They look so sharp. I'm actually super stoked on this kit. It's going to look really good and clean for about 5 minutes. So we'll get them put on. We'll push the bike outside. We'll take some pictures, and then we'll go destroy it. But,
yeah, especially because springtime here in Utah is desert riding.
Oh yeah.
And like 5 miles of hell.
Oh yeah.
I feel bad because that one's coming up. That's like April.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
gonna
March.
I'm gonna get my butt kicked. I haven't ridden since November, I think. So
Oh man.
it's been a few months off the bike, and it's gonna be rough when it comes back. My endurance is definitely in the tank.
You just stay with your regimen of your cardio and stuff that you do every day.
Absolutely, totally.
As I
do a lot of beer curls.
Yep.
But
so where's the? I'll probably just have to wait and see it because it's gonna be hard to imagine. But there's white wear with the
almost
blue.
Everything is white.
And then there's blue roses inside
And then,
the white.
and there's
my gosh.
It's just highlighted with blue roses.
Okay,
There's only
okay.
There's like one on the front fender. I think one or there's a small strip of blue on the fender, on the rear fenders, and there's like I think 3 or 4 roses kind of scattered throughout.
It's gonna be a show bike.
Oh, it's gonna look super clean. The rest of the bike's gonna look like trash compared to the graphics. So
yeah,
I'll probably
scraped
have
up
to suck
rims
up it
and-
being super cold and like actually clean it when I strip all the plastic off because it'll actually be accessible too.
Yeah.
So we'll spend some time I think and make it look at least halfway decent.
Don't they have a good pressure washer place up there on Orem?
Yeah, there's
Center Street.
There's a couple not very far from me.
Yeah.
So I can always load the bike up and take it over and actually hit it with a pressure washer. This time of year it's heated too.
Which one?
Most
just
of
the
them.
water's all
yeah, the
hot,
water. Yeah, the hot water. So
Yeah.
it should actually blast that grime off pretty good.
Nice. I need to go do that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait to see that. That is gonna be so cool.
It's going to be good. I'm super stoked. This one's going to be good.
Okay, so mine's going to be the opposite. I'm going totally different. I'm going as redneck as possible. I'm going naked. Totally naked graphics. Just fresh plastics. I don't know what color scheme I'm going to do. Maybe like high-vis green or something. No. Turquoise. Who knows?
Right. Find some of the limited edition. They made some weird, like, kind of green ones at one point.
Yeah, UFO's got some stuff I can pick from, but the one I wanted really bad was red. I found it. Some company out in New Jersey or something makes it.
What?
They wanted $400-something for the
Oh,
kit.
that
I
ain't
was
worth
like,
it
no, okay.
No.
Maybe I'll spray paint the white ones. But yeah, it was red and gray, dark gray.
That'd be good. You could always do like a color shift too. You could do like the front end,
Yeah,
like a black, and the back end a white, or white and then black, or
yeah.
blue and white, or
I thought about doing all black,
yeah.
but I don't know. It'll just get scratched up and look like garbage in a couple of weeks. But that's just the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. You can always throw graphics on it later and hide all the scratches.
Yeah, I suppose. Does Magic Eraser work on black plastics or just white ones?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Like, it works on white really good.
Does it?
Yeah. So keep that in mind. I don't know what it'll do to your graphics, but
I don't know. Yeah.
white plastic, it's awesome.
Interesting. Yeah, but I just let them look like trash for most of the year, and then come the new year, I like to freshen it up and
You're
do a new
definitely
set.
going to be the belle of the ball in the group.
It's gonna look really good for, like I said, until I get it unloaded basically the first time, and then it's gonna go downhill real quick.
It's even going to make Dan regret his choice to get the
Sherco.
The new Sherco.
Well, he's gonna regret it if he actually gets back into the gnarly stuff. Just riding a 4-stroke.
Yeah, he bought a 300 4-stroke?
Yeah, 300 Sherco 4-stroke, but they do run them in enduro cross.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So,
I don't know. Good luck, Dan.
right, you might need it, but that's okay. Well, we'll wait for you at the top.
Yeah.
If you need it, I carry a tow strap most of the time.
Nice. We got your back.
That's right.
Okay, I wanted to talk about 22 in review. That was a fun little rhyme. I'm dumb. What was your favorite memories of 22 from riding?
Well, I don't know. I'm a big fan of 5 Miles of Hell. We did that twice. Did we do twice this year?
I've only done it once.
I'm trying to remember. 22 has been a long year, so I don't remember what I did.
A lot of stuff happened.
But that was the time we did the big group this year, didn't we?
I haven't done it on the YZ though.
No, yeah.
So it's been over a year for me.
Dang. I'm
So
trying to.
last time I did it, I was on that old GPX.
Did you? Yeah. Did you come on? You came on that ride with the big group, didn't you? Where we camped out right by the trailhead, and then we had the KTM, the old KTM, and then the Suzuki. I think
was that when the two Rocky Mountain guys came down with us?
Yeah.
We did do 5 miles of hill.
Yeah.
I was on a GPX then.
Were you? God, was that long ago?
Yeah.
Ooh. What did we do in 22 then?
I don't
We did
know.
Green River Rally.
Yeah,
and
we
rode,
did Red and
Woodside.
stuff. Yeah, we did. Well, we did Woodside. That's right.
Yeah, Woodside was a good time.
That was a good time. So
some
somewhere
gnarly
out there
stuff
in
in
Woodside,
there.
there's some switchbacks, like really cool ones. They're
Really?
like kind of loopy, so you're not like pivot turn. It's kind of like if you can carry your momentum up it.
A little bit
really
of
hug the
almost some
hill.
flow to it.
I saw it on a video the other day. I want to go find it, but yeah, but doing our track that we did in Woodside in reverse is definitely on the schedule. I want to go try that.
That'd be a good one. A couple of those, word climbs and ledges will be
Yeah,
could be a little
that's
puckery because that
sketchy,
one is
man.
right there on the edge.
That one where I tried to throw my bike back down the ravine.
Yeah, that one.
was-
That's the one I'm thinking of.
That's
If only I'd been like 2 seconds faster, I would have caught that on
Yeah.
video too. I missed it by that much.
that would have been really, really pretty cool.
That would have been a good one. But that was a good ride. I super enjoyed the Woodside because that one was different.
And there's more of it out further west. Further west we go, we get up towards the reef, and there's more riding to do out there. So we've only explored maybe like half of it.
Dang,
So-
there's a lot of trail then.
Yeah,
I don't know. That night ride in November was fun. It was so cold, but
that was stinking cold. It made
They
my
was-
batteries die.
Yeah,
Like, it
well-
was that cold.
yeah, that's just it. When the first set of batteries on my helmet lights, you had to change out after the road just to the
Yeah,
trailhead.
that was
I made
7
it like
miles.
yeah, it made it like 10 minutes, not even, and they just
Yeah.
went flat out. The rest of them lasted like the whole rest of the night, which is weird. So I only went through one more set of batteries, but
Yeah,
why the first set died in 5 minutes, 10 minutes versus 4 hours,
Yeah.
I'll never know.
who came down with us on that ride? Was it just you, me, and Nate? we had Kyle?
Kyle was there.
Okay.
Because we were all talking about like, oh, these headlights aren't so bad, and then
that's
Nate
right.
rolled in with that. I think the VSL headlight on
Yeah.
his Husky. Man, we're like, oh wait, it's
Oh,
just
crap,
because
like a
he was
UFO
behind me.
showed up. Yeah.
Well, you're telling me, man. When we crossed paths later on the wrong road going back to the trucks, between just like not super great vision, and then I have astigmatism, so like light gets all blown out. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
star shaped kind of.
Yeah.
Man, that's literally what it was. Just like this blob of light. And I was like,
you were saying like it was
I
like
had-
a car up on its side because he
That's
had
kind
lights down low.
Yeah, he had the one down low, and he had the one like the helmet light, and I was like, I couldn't tell what the heck was going on for a minute, and then even when it went by, it sounded weird. It wasn't until Kyle was like, I think that was Devin and Nate that just went by. I was like, oh yeah, and my phone, I pulled up my phone to use GPS, and it said we were on the right road.
Yeah, mine did too.
And I was like, so we rode it like 3 or 4 times. Like, no, there's no way. This doesn't look right.
Is that
None
why
of
you
this
guys
is.
took so long to get back?
Yeah,
to
because
camp?
we rode up and down that section. I was
Okay.
like, according to my phone, we are at the camp because I marked the location for us to camp at. And then I was like, but this ain't it. Kyle opens his phone. He's like, oh yeah, man, we're one road off.
Dang.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me? The entrances were like 50 yards apart. Like,
Yeah, it
you
was.
come out
It
of
was
one and you
literally-
just immediately turn to the next one, pretty much. I was
Yeah,
like,
and it just separated by a wash.
yep, missed it by that much again.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
like the story of my life there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a super fun ride just because it was cold and everything, but it's just fun. It's different. I like to
Yeah.
do things that are a little bit different than
Yeah.
your average ride.
Yeah, I think Woodside sticks out in my mind the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Woodside was super cool, and like you come around a corner and go from one color of soil to another color,
Yeah.
like it would shift from like gray to like red in an instant. It was
Yeah.
pretty fun.
And then those huge boulders you're riding up around and in between. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
really cool.
That one was super cool. That
Like you're on
one.
the moon or something.
Yeah, I remember when we were pre-running and we did that one, like kind of you almost have to limbo to one
Yeah.
side to get through it ahead of time just so we knew the trails. That one was good. I don't know, we did a lot of local rides that were fun too, getting just up in the canyons.
Well, riding up straight out of town into Santa Cruz Canyon, that was a riot.
Oh, yeah.
I like doing that.
Those ones are super fun. Just you can just be like, oh hey, it's summertime. It's light till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, you can go for a ride after work and at least get something in.
That was a lot of fun.
So we had a lot of riding time that way.
Yeah.
Just coming down and doing shorter rides, arguably, but still super fun. We got
Yeah.
into some techie, gnarly stuff.
Seriously, dude, the Squirrel Trail,
Mm-hmm.
man. Did we ever have a name for that?
I don't know.
Yeah, the
And
Squirrel Trail.
there's the log trail. That
Oh
one,
man, Log Hopper was cool.
100+ logs, man. I tell you
Seriously,
what,
like 100 logs in a mile, maybe.
mile, just over a mile. It's
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
basically right at a mile, and
you
it's somebody counted them at one point. I mean, there's a few that are more like branches than logs, but
Right.
it's 100 or 115 or something ridiculous.
Jeez.
And they go from, like I said, like 2-3 inches to 2 feet.
Yeah.
There's that one that's just monstrous.
Who's the mechanic that was with us from Rocky Mountain that helped me straighten out my? Jeez, I just whistled into the mic. That sucked.
That was Chuck, man.
Was that Chuck?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. He helped me straighten out my my rotor. after I launched myself, I about broke my leg. I'm really surprised it didn't, because I went over a log and I got kind of ejected off to the left, but it was a pile of logs, and I went over, and then the bike pinned my leg as all my weight fell over the bike, or my basically the log pressed against the back of my calf. The bike had my ankle, and my knee was pulling it over the log. So I was just like, oh, I was like scrambling to grab anything I could to not let it break.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, that's when I bent that rotor, and then I had no front brake, and Chuck helped me straighten it out.
Yeah, didn't you guys use like a pair of vice grips? Or,
yeah, it was a pair of linesman pliers.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, it was just a pair of pliers. But hey, got it good enough to get back to the truck.
Yeah, it worked enough.
Yeah, that was a good time. That's a gnarly trail. We rode that one a couple times this year.
Yeah.
Trying to think where else we went.
Punisher.
Oh, I forgot. How did I forget the Punisher, man?
I kicked you in the face.
Oh yeah.
I still feel bad about that. Every time that pops up in my like Instagram feed, I'm like, I feel so bad.
That's what you get for running in there, I guess.
I look like a total retard on that one.
Oh
my gosh.
Yeah. Well, that was a rough day. Bikes were boiling over. That sucker is steep.
I don't know why I struggled so hard. I mean, I just don't have the clutch dump dialed in where I can load the flywheel, dump it, and ride up through something. I feel like I've always got to have gas on it.
Yeah.
And then I die all the time. I don't load it up well enough. I really got to work on that technique this year.
Yeah, that's a super good one. I need to do that myself. And I'll tell you what, Punisher's one of those. You're like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Guess what? You're probably not.
No.
Like it's so steep the whole way, and it's soft. Like there is nothing that lets you get a break. No. I mean, Nate's a hell of a rider, and he had to ghost ride his whip a few times.
Oh yeah, that ghost ride was so cool.
The one up that one big rock step, holy heck. Man, that thing landed so smooth and perfect.
Didn't you just grab it?
Yeah, I just kind of caught it by like the handlebar, and it was like could have hopped on and rode away. It was money.
See you, sucker.
But that was a super good time. I'll have to go back and try that one again,
man.
But not in the summer like we did it. I want to do like spring or fall.
If I'm physically more healthy and have my technique dialed in, I'll go do it. But if you asked me to go do it next week and it was like going to be 65 degrees, I'd say no. Just no.
Yeah. I tell you what, I don't think I'll do it again when it's 80.
That was pretty miserable.
That was so hot.
Like just trying to find any shade to sit in.
Yeah. I was pretty done by the end of that one. We weren't actually even really gone all that long.
No, 4 hours.
Yeah, about 4 hours or so. It took us a little while just to find it.
Yeah, we're just trying to find the thing forever.
But that one was brutal.
I'm not gonna lie, I was really hopeful we weren't gonna find it, and we'd go ride that little trail that we did that one time.
Right. Well, that one
was gonna be hard.
Yeah, that one's super fun. We got to go back. We got to do that one though this year. That one's super fun. It's got the 2 big waterfalls in it, really, and then a couple smaller ones. And
so, do you have to hit that last one where I just left my bike down there and I spotted you, and you took that rock right into your tailbone when you came back down?
No, we don't have to do that one.
Okay,
it
goes up and around, right?
Yeah, you actually take the trail up and around. Yeah, that one hurt.
That is sketchy.
That one's super sketchy.
That's like a 15, 20-foot fall.
Yeah, if you don't fall right, it's going real bad. And as in the grand scheme of things, for as bad as that attempt went, it could have gone a whole lot worse.
Yeah, if you'd have been bucked it all to the left.
Oh yeah, yep. And part of that's just like knowing that and trying to get over it and just being like, oh, it's all good. And I didn't hit it hard enough, but no. The trick is definitely just to avoid that one and ride the regular trail up past that. I don't know if you ever went up with us to the point where you kind of have to like, it's almost a hill climb, and like partway up the hill climb, you bail off the edge and you have to side hill. Ugh. Super narrow little goat trail, and then you get up into this draw, and that one, I mean, it's got, I don't know, the first one it's not quite vertical and it's got a nice kind of roll into it. And last time I saw it, but it's probably 5 feet, almost 6 feet tall.
Jeez,
it's big, and the second one's about the same size.
Near vertical.
Yeah. Like the first time I ever rode it, we rode down them.
Oh,
and so what would be the second waterfall going up it, we rode down that one, and it was like you could kind of feel the back tire hovering off the ground as your front tire was in. So like it was thinking about pitching up and over, but it did. You could just roll it as long as you stayed off the front brake. The second one, nobody had the guts to ride that one. Mm-hmm. But coming back up it's not so bad, and then they get smaller. There's a couple other like little ones that really aren't too bad. the one that I hit, I was like, here's the line. Let me miss the line and then have a hard time. And it's rocky, and there's some good obstacles in there, but it's nothing like Punisher. It's only maybe a mile long or something.
Okay.
It's pretty short.
How long do you think Punisher was? The actual, like, once you turn and you start going into the rocks?
It felt like about 50 miles.
Yeah.
In reality, it was probably like 2.
Yeah.
I don't think I tracked that ride, so
I'll have to look it up. But
I'm not sure what the distance is on that one.
yeah.
But that was a good one.
I was on the GPX for that. I was thinking about the TP Trail.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff out there. I want to go back out there.
Yeah, we haven't been out to Grantsville in a long time.
Yeah. What was that? What's that mountain range called?
That's
Stansbury.
Yep,
Stansbury
Stansbury's. You got the Stansbury Front Trail, which is super fun, and then there's a bunch of other trails in
Yeah,
there.
riding down through that. That reminds me of that Stansbury Front Trail reminded me a lot of where you're riding through the forest. It's really deep and kind of dark, big pines around you. Is the Ridge Trail in AF.
Oh,
Where you're
okay.
just deep through the trees and stuff, and then you come around a corner and it's this huge canyon, and you're looking hundreds of feet down. And
Oh,
there's
that's
just
super
huge
cool.
Pine trees next to you. Yeah, Stansbury and AF were freaking awesome.
Yeah, got to get up to Stansbury's. I didn't go out there at all this summer. Normally I ride out there quite a bit. And then we also did that one down by Joe's Reservoir. That
Oh,
was a
man.
super fun ride.
Yeah, that was just Reeder Canyon.
Reeder Canyon until the rain came in. Then that clay turned to grease. It
Holy
was
crap!
slickered and snot.
I can still feel my hip. Like when I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh! I don't know what I did to myself. I bruised the bone or something.
Probably.
I felt that for weeks.
Probably
I was
got
doing I don't know, 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, but you got to remember up there, and then you get accelerated by the fall, and
Yeah.
and you're going down about 5 feet. So
But I felt so stupid when you came over. You're like, "Did you air your tire down?" I was like, "No."
right. But I don't know. That stuff was so slick. I mean, it'll
really
get you a
was.
little bit, but
Yeah.
I
I was
it's
all over the place.
without having ridden that kind of stuff before, it's nasty. We ride coming out of Washington, we used to ride a lot in the rain.
Yeah.
And some of those mountains were just super clayey, and
Yeah.
you just fell a lot until you got a little bit better, and then you fell less.
Yeah.
And that's really the only difference is time on
I
that
can
terrain.
ride sand. I can't ride mud.
But I can't ride sand.
I just have no experience.
Warner Valley reminded me that I can't ride sand. I don't have the guts to go fast enough to be like getting there and actually stay up on top. And I go too fast to be in the slowest category where like it doesn't matter when it knocks you over. I was in like the perfect dangerous middle
Was it
ground.
third gear or something?
Maybe, probably. Yeah, I think I was in third gear, and
Still third gear. You're doing like 25 miles an hour coming off the bike.
probably. Yeah, it's
Maybe 30.
It slammed me like a pro wrestler. I just gave me the Stone Cold Stunner.
Andre the Giant tossed you.
That's what it felt like. It wasn't that was not a good time. What else? I'm trying to think of what else we did this last year. We did a ton of just little local rides, which are always fun because you can get them in quick, but didn't do a ton of big trips. We talked about 5 Miles of Hell. Man, I felt like we did it this last year, but maybe we didn't. I think maybe
I didn't.
See, I know some of the guys did, and we talked about it, but I don't think we ever actually got down there this year.
Yeah, because you're talking.
Oh,
about
you know what?
doing-
No, I did it with some of the guys from Rocky.
Okay, I know you did it.
I did it with the engineer and his kid who made us all look stupid.
Oh yeah.
Where he rode up and down most every main obstacle 2, 3, 4 times.
Jeez.
It's fine. He's like 21, young, and
Yeah.
full of energy, and the rest of us were huffing and puffing. But
Story of
yeah,
my life.
right. That's one of those things. I'm like, I should do more cardio, and then I think about it and I decide not to.
Yeah.
Because
I get real excited about it. Like 3 weeks before a ride, like coming up this in first weekend in February. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start doing my squats, and I'm gonna do push-ups and run and stuff. And then every day it just gets busier and busier, and then it's like a week out, and I'm like, screw it.
it's too late now. It's not like it's gonna make a difference
Just
anymore.
hope for the best.
Yeah, but yes, you're doing that ride, and then we got to do Woodside. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got to get out to some of these other areas. Oh, we did that big
what?
60 miler up. What is that canyon
Oh
there?
shoot, Tie Fork.
Yeah, we did Tie Fork.
That was awesome.
That's actually one of my favorite rides.
Yeah, I'd go do that in a heartbeat.
In the fall, if you get like right as the leaves are changing,
Oh, man,
a whole
was
bunch
so
of that whole
pretty.
section just turns bright, fiery red and orange. It's beautiful. The morning is super cold.
Yeah.
First time I rode that one, it was like 30 degrees when we got there, and it was like 60 when we left at midday.
Not bad.
But I tell you what,
That's
those
a cold
creek
start.
crossings were brutal. 30 degrees, and you're like, how deep is that? I don't think I really want to find out. The answer is pretty deep.
Yeah. There's stuff in Moab you still haven't ridden.
Oh, there's a bunch in Moab I haven't done.
Like you've done Gold Bar Rim and Poison Spider with me. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
most
you
of
went
it.
out Gold Bar.
Yeah.
You came down to pick us up because it was me, Nate, and Kyle.
Yeah, so we
went on that
did.
ride, and you came down and met him and took off with them.
Yeah, I took them back to the trucks.
Yeah.
And I think Nate stopped and picked you up or something like that.
So Gold Bar, Cane Creek, Pritchett Canyon.
I haven't done the tubes.
Yeah,
like
tubes,
all the
that
big
stuff might be closed. Did you hear that?
Well, yeah,
Like
I
this
haven't
year?
heard how that ended. I know there's a big campaign to stop the BLM from going with whatever that Trail Society group is or whatever.
The ones trying to
Shut down all the fun.
SUA.
Yeah.
I don't even like to say their name. So if you're listening, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so SUA is trying to literally sue the federal government to get them to shut down this stuff in order to preserve things. But here's my beef with that is just because your idea of preservation is no access is not my idea of preservation. I want to preserve this for my children to go enjoy. If you
Right.
shut it down, nobody gets to enjoy it. It's like it doesn't even exist.
Yeah, what's the point of having it if no one gets to see it?
Yeah, what's the point of God's creations if we aren't here to enjoy them? You know, that kind of thing.
Right. Responsible use goes a long way, and I think it's just going to increase traffic everywhere else. That the few trails that do remain open, and a lot of those trails, especially the motorized trails, they go pretty deep into Moab. It's super sandy. You really don't see hikers or mountain bikers back there.
No, they're not going to get back in there.
You see 4x4 Jeeps and trucks going out on their trips. You see dirt bikes and ATVs, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You don't have Grandma Lolly going out for a hike 10 miles into the sand.
No.
Just to come back 10 miles in the sand and die of heat stroke. So, all you're going to do is now you're going to have more two-way traffic. You're going to have more wear and tear in the areas that are open. It seems to me like you'd want to spread it out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are groups that would be happy to do some trail maintenance if like I know up in Washington and Idaho and whatnot, a big part of the year is spent by volunteers clearing trails.
Yeah.
And that goes for hiking trails. They'll get special permissions, same as they do here in Utah from the BLM, to go clear trails that you normally wouldn't be allowed to dirt bike, but the only way to clear those is with a chainsaw. And there's very few people out here that are willing to carry a chainsaw and gas 30 miles through these trails on foot to get them clear.
Yeah.
The only people really doing them are on motorcycles.
Yeah.
Because they'll fit.
Yep.
And so up in Utah, I know up in Washington, there are groups that do hundreds of hours every year. They spend most of their summer. Oh yeah, they'll have groups of 20 or 30 people, and they'll hopscotch through a whole section of trails to do, 40, 50, 100 miles sometimes if they have a big enough group, and they'll do a big section of trails cutting every tree they can get a hold of.
Yeah.
That's in the way until they run out of gas.
Yeah. Well, see, Sue would want you to not even touch it.
Yeah.
Like they would rather that we not exist and not enjoy any of it. I mean, if they're wanting to close it down to hikers and bikers, like, what's the point?
Yeah. And even if they're open to a hiker, like you're not gonna.
They're not hiking anything to maintain a trail.
Yeah, they're not gonna go in there to maintain it, and more than likely, no one's really gonna hike it.
No.
It's not really worth it for them.
Yeah.
The risk reward and whatnot. You'll get a couple. You totally get some people, and you'll get the folks who are really diehard, like, be like, oh well, especially now that I know it's close to motorized use, I can go camp back there or whatever, and turn it into a 2-day, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But why not let the other, hundreds or thousands of people that bring money to your economy? Moab
that's the huge
literally
thing.
Exists purely as typically or originally it was a motorized haven to go have fun and do these awesome rock crawling and dirt biking and all this stuff that you couldn't really do anywhere else. Yeah. Well, now everywhere else is coming there and closing it down, just like so many other places. And it's like you're losing your last couple vestiges of freedom and fun here.
Yeah, like if you could zoom out and have a video, like a time lapse of 50 years ago when motorized vehicles were first starting to go through that area and creating those trails, it will look very, very similar to when they first started. Like, there's not tire tracks everywhere and erosion lines from all of these trails and stuff. They're pretty well maintained and they're set in where they go. So it's not like since the introduction of motorized travel out there, it's just all gone to pot, you know?
Yep. No, it's terrible. So that's one thing that I don't know when. I know the decision ended a while ago in terms of your time to put in for it.
Right.
There's a big campaign, letter writing campaign and whatnot, that was done. Hopefully they don't go with that option to do even more closures, because the way the trails are now is actually a decision from like 5 or 10 years ago.
It was to close like 40%.
And it closed a lot down. And then part of that deal was basically to revisit it. And now we're in the revisit stage of that.
Right.
And it's just not good.
Like they were talking, what my dad said today was from Lockhart Basin, which is, I don't know, 30 miles south of Cane Creek and Pritchett Canyon, all the way up into the Tubes, Dead Cow, all that stuff.
Yep.
Like it's all the northwest region.
Yeah, like was it like a whitewash or something like that, or
yeah, whitewash.
I think that's in there. Like it's a huge section, and they want to close down the majority of the trails.
Yeah.
And a lot of connectors and whatnot, which just adds to two-way traffic. So whatever's left, it's a terrible plan. I think it's going to lead to a lot more problems.
Yeah.
But
I think it's incredibly selfish to want to close it down like that too, because it's only your mindset instead of working with everybody else and coming to a happy agreement. You're just like, no, I'm taking my ball and going.
It's exactly what it is. If they can't have it their way, they don't want it anyway.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Exactly.
But yeah, I never heard about the decision on that. I didn't follow it.
Probably.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get too shut down.
Yeah, but I'm thinking in the spring, maybe in May, we bust down there and go enjoy some stuff before it's gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'll be honest, like if a lot of those trails shut down, why go to Moab anymore?
Yeah, I mean there's stuff on the eastern. Okay, so where we went and picked up my bike.
Yep.
There's a place out in Colorado that the guy I've been talking to a couple guys like Still Can't Ride and Crash Hard Enduro, Plush Enduro. Those guys have been telling me about a place called, well, maybe we won't say. No, I'm just kidding. Penrose.
Okay.
But it's kind of out there close to where we were looking at my bike, and we were talking about lines we wanted to hit on all kinds of cool terrain.
Even where we picked it up, we totally need to go back there too. And
yeah, I think it was like maybe 10 or 15 miles further towards the border, and there's just deep canyons just appear.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds super fun.
It looked pretty cool even from Google Earth. It looked awesome.
Well, we got some spots to go to. We definitely need to make it happen.
Yeah.
I'll just have to, time my days off to make the most of them. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta go.
I think that's a wrap on this one.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, man. Anytime. Let's do it.